All right, what's going on, everyone? Today I have Trigger Happy John on the channel, and I think this is the first time you've been on my channel, so that's pretty cool. I think I've been on your channel a couple times. This guy makes regular Diablo Immortal content for us, and today we're going to be talking about spending money in this game and how tragic it actually is. So, to get us started here, I'll just go ahead and say I personally have spent $2,500 in this game. I'm at a fat 3,000 residents. So that's how much I've spent so far, and that's the residents. I've reached the point where I am done spending. I buy the boon, and I buy the battle pass. How much have you spent so far? Where are you at? And do you have the same perspective so far?
So it's funny you mentioned the 2,500. So I am at 2,550 after renewing the battle pass and the boon. So I've been keeping track of it all because I wanted to know exactly what type of investment I have in Diablo Immortal and what I've gotten from it. So the funny part is as the camera dies.
That's exactly what
the fun part about
being
being it's the fun part about being a content creator is when you're on the go, you have to really, you make quick decisions like living without your camera. No, so yeah, I'm at 2,550. I'm only at 2,100 resonance compared to your 3K, right? We spent the same amount. I'm at the point now where I am only buying the battle pass and the boon, and mostly just the boon, just for the simplicity of having the mobile market. Like, that's really the only thing I'm really interested in.
Yeah, the boon for me, I like the inventory space. So that's the reason I get it. Because you get the 6 rows, which actually is pretty nuts. So there's two things with spending money in this game, right? You get the power of your character, and then you get magic find, right? Those are the two things that I see as benefits. So I'm gonna say this: have you felt like let's just call it an investment, because we do make content on this game? I think I'm gonna copium here. Yeah, I'm copium here. Okay. This is an investment. Do you regret it at all?
No, because I think being that we have a mobile background, right, we're kind of conditioned to what it's like to spend money in these types of games, right? So we know what we're getting into when we spend money. Now, do I think I went a little above and beyond because of making content? Yes. Like, if this was a different case scenario where I wasn't making daily YouTube videos, then no, I would never want to spend over $2,000, right? Obviously, for us, there's a nice part of it. We can write some of this off, but we can't write it all off.
Yeah.
But no, I don't necessarily have buyer's remorse at this point, but I'm definitely fully aware of what I've spent, and I'm done. Like, there won't be any more buying $100 packs or anything like that for crest runs. Like, until Immortal can show me something that's just astronomical change or better, or even just a better value with crests or whatever the case may be, right? I give it some sort of random package. I don't foresee spending any more money, and I don't regret it. I did make a video kind of talking about it a little bit, but yeah, I definitely won't be spending more moving forward.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm in the same boat as you see. I haven't purchased the monthly pack, which is something that oftentimes people go ahead and I'm kind of done spending, but they are already a couple thousand in, and they still get their monthly pack, which is we'll say an okay deal if you're a decent whale. But pretty much it's just battle pass, boon of plenty, and I'm in the same boat. I'm not honestly, one of the reasons why I wanted to get to 3K residents is just like personal, like it's cool. So that is something that I've enjoyed. And one thing that I'll say is, like, for power purposes, it really doesn't matter a whole lot. I know people will say out there, and it does like change things, no doubt. Like, you can't argue that you're going to get extra damage. And I think if you compare myself to a free-to-play player, your free-to-play player is going to be like 600 to 6,500 damage, and I'm going to have 8,500 damage, right? That's like what I've seen, at least within our own clan. And so it's like, yeah, it matters, but it's not a crazy amount. The thing that has mattered to me more so than anything, and this is why I say it's an investment, so I'm going to go and copium harder and defend myself here, is magic find, actually. I've actually noticed a big difference with the 90% magic find. I want to say, like, let's say I'm farming ship here, and I'm farming, let's say, 3 legendaries an hour. if I were to not have 90% magic find, I'd probably be down to 2. And that kind of matters to me as someone who class changes a lot. And that's the only reason. So keep in mind, though, I'm the type of player that grinds hours upon hours and still do. You know, I still invest, let's say, 4 or 5 hours at the ship a day in this game. And it's like, if you're not doing that, your magic find isn't really a crazy value. And I know you're someone that kind of logs on, maybe plays an hour or two, or then like maybe takes a break for a couple days and then logs on the weekend and dumps in like, 4 or 5 hours. Do you feel like magic find has changed at all? I don't know how much you have, but I assume you're up there like 45% or something like that.
I'm at 50. I'm at 55% magic find with my current setup right now. Do I feel like it really has made a difference? Not really. It's no different than when we had our debate with Treasure Hunter, right? Because I only play I play a minimum of 2 hours a day. And then, making my YouTube videos, like, it takes me about an hour and a half a night. So maybe 3.5 hours totally invested every day in the game. But most of that isn't grinding, right? Like most of that's doing your dailies. It's not ship farming. It's not keeping up. Like I keep up with Server Paragon. So because I'm not playing as frequent, I don't see it. Now, is it there? Absolutely. Like we can't argue statistics, right? Like the experience orb bonus will always be there. The chance to, yes, you drop more gear pieces, which could lead to more legendaries. That's always going to be there. But the fact that I'm not someone who plays as much, like other than like you said, like on a weekend where I get more time to play, I don't notice the increase or the influx. So it's not something that I could really recommend to people. Like, yeah, it's okay to spend that to get that extra magic find. But I can't disagree with your argument because unfortunately, like no matter how we slice it, the facts are facts, right? More magic find you have, obviously, the more overall better stats you're going to get on gear pieces that are going to get dropped, and just the more lucky you're going to be, right?
Yeah. And I'll say this. So I personally, coming from, as you said earlier, a mobile gaming background, I have played quite a few mobile games, but this is like the first game where I would consider myself a whale. I would consider myself, right. Some people out there may not, maybe $2,500 is kind of like a dolphin or whatever. I think I'm a whale. Okay. So if that's where I'm at, I don't feel like the actual process that like I wanted, the goal was there, right? I wanted 3K resonance and I wanted to do everything I could to get 3K resonance, but it wasn't like, if you play a gacha game, if you go to a mobile game, it's not like every dollar I spent felt like I was getting something. In fact, most of the time it was like all I could think of is the overarching goal, and until I actually got it, it just felt like a money pit. I don't know if that's kind of how it felt for you, where it was like, and obviously it's completely luck based, so you don't even know what you're going to get at the end of the day. And
right.
How much resonance are you out right now?
I'm at 2130. I think it's the 2130 2150 is the total resonance I have currently on my account. And like I said, I'm $50 more than you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then that's where the RNG comes in place, right? Like, so we're like 2,500, right? And you're at 3K. I'm at like 2130. So that's like an 800 difference there, right? But I've also talked to other people who are about $1,200 in, and that's not with using any cheat mechanics, not with doing any currency conversion. That's legitimate $1,200 in, and they're almost 3K as well. Like they're at like 2,900. So the RNG that goes into this is such an astronomical swing between the low to the high to get to we'll say the 3K number, right? Because people want the 3K for, like you said, personal goals, and for people want the bragging rights on the wings, right? Like you can't fault people like that. It's a cosmetic, right? It's you get the bragging rights, you get to show it off a little bit, but the swing given from 1,200 to it would probably cost me another 500 to 600 to get to 3K. So you're talking that's 3,000. So $1 per resonance is what it's averaging for my account. So you're talking the difference there. That's an astronomical swing. So I think for a lot of people, it's kind of hard to bite off.
Yeah, I'm sure the range is based on like some earlier calculations I did. Granted, everything's changed, in a couple months. It was like, you could go as cheap as a couple $100, assuming you get absurdly lucky. But your general average, is going to be anywhere from that 1K mark to like 6K. Especially like I would consider myself relatively lucky. Full transparency here, I got 2 5 out of 5s out of that $2,500. So
yeah, I'm jealous of you.
That was 4 times the rate, right? That's 4 times what I should have gotten. I shouldn't have even gotten 1 on average rate. but I got 2. And so those things really change the game, because each one, if you were to buy it from the market, could be anywhere from $500 to $900 each. So it starts to get a little absurd, honestly. You start to have situations where you're reaching, as you're saying, some astronomical amount where you don't even know what you're going to get. And I think this is kind of why I wanted to make the video in the first place, is like, I kind of have this mentality where I'm telling people to kind of just don't really spend if your goal is to progress within the game. Only spend if you actually enjoy spending, right? Because you're not really progressing in the game. You can do all the PvE content. PvP, I still get dominated, right? I don't go into PvP. I'm not the big dog. I'm a small fish.
Right.
I'm still fighting 5, 6, 7K resonance whales if I progress through the tier. So it's like, only spend if you want to, right? I mean, unless you enjoy the experience, don't even bother.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling even my viewers, right? Like, there's a thing called supporting the creator of the game, right? Like, you can do that. Like, that's something that because you pay for your entertainment. But if you're someone who's playing the game and you want to be a low tier spend, you don't want to spend it all, there's nothing wrong with that, because all we're doing when we make these purchases, just like any other game, is we're trying to skip kind of to the end, thinking that gives us that advantage. And this is a Diablo game, right? This is made to be the long grind. So, okay, sure. Because even like me and you, we're 2,000 plus in, and we still can't dominate PvP. So other people who complain about it, right? Like, unless you're willing to go up to the 5K, 6K resonance, it's a moot point. Yeah. So definitely, I mean, I'm definitely gonna stand with you on that one as far as like, hey, guys, you don't have to spend to get the enjoyment out of the game. And all you're doing is you're just trying to skip ahead, and you're not guaranteed to get what you're looking for anyways. Like, if anything, you're more likely to get buyer's remorse than you will anything. I don't know how many comments I've gotten that are like, you know what, I made a mistake, I refunded, I'm done with this game. And it's common. It's very prevalent right now.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge part of this, is especially since like the game is time gated, regardless of in your normal gacha games. And this is something that I was thinking about the other day, is you can kind of bypass the time gate with money, which makes money in a sense more valuable in those games. In this game, you can't really do that, because you're still forced to wait until the Paragon level catches up so you can even use your more advanced gear. Like JT is out there farming Health 5. He's been farming Health 5 for like a couple of weeks now. He can't get Health 5 gear any sooner than I can, and in fact, I'll probably have the same amount of gear quality as he will, just because of the game and how it works. So the game kind of de-incentivizes you to spend based on how it works, all sorts of areas. And the more you look at it, the more you realize, yes, it is absolutely pay to win, but unless you're going to be that 6K whale, there really isn't a purpose. And even if you don't PvP, then there really is zero purpose, because it doesn't really improve
if you're not playing PvP, if you're not PvPing, there's absolutely no incentive whatsoever. Like, you're not wrong. And that's the funniest part about this is, gacha games, sure, we do get a better benefit from it, but in these games like these, you're not skipping ahead on anything. Like, you're not like, it doesn't unlock anything for you. Like, oh, hey, I got 6K resonance. Okay, cool. You can go. I guess you can fight other people now. But what did you change, right? You didn't really change anything.
Yeah, you might have shaved a couple seconds off your dungeon run or something, but at the end of the day, like, you run a Crusader, you run a couple party members, you're good to go. And I guess that's pretty much the conclusion of this video. I mean, really, at the end of the day, just only spend if you enjoy it. And that's why I'm kind of done. My goal was to get that 3K resonance. I'm done. I have no reason to spend. I at the beginning of the Diablo Immortal, I was spending to get stronger for the clan. People have completely outpaced me. I'm done. I'm going to continue my battle pass. And I'm going to continue my boon. And that's it. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, you and me both, man. You and me both. It'll be nice. Maybe that'll help us with I know we get a lot of free-to-play Andes out there. They're like, hey, it'd be really nice if you guys gave us some better guides. Maybe this will help us understand a little bit more of the struggles.
Side note, as a last note to this video, I have been playing for 2 weeks with only the battle pass and the boon, right? And I've gotten 8 legendary crests. So It's certainly slow. It is certainly slow. I feel it.
It's a lot different. Yeah, that's right. So.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, John, for jumping on the channel today. If you all want to check out this guy, I'm going to leave it in the description down below. Pinned comment. Makes daily Diablo Immortal content for you all, and I highly recommend you check him out. Does a lot of videos out there, especially talking about the state of the game right now. So certainly check him out. Drop him a sub. Get him to 10,000 right after this video, and we'll be good to go.
Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for having me on the channel.
All right. Thank you, John. See you later, everyone.